In the vast expanse of the galaxy, the Galactic Empire considered itself eternal, untouchable, and unbreakable. It spanned thousands of star systems, enslaved dozens of species, and crushed rebellions before they ever had the chance to burn. Its fleets darkened skies, its soldiers marched with merciless precision, and its rulers believed themselves gods among mortals. Yet among the countless myths and whispers carried on the breath of conquered civilizations, there was one name that never quite died, one name that even the Empire's historians could not erase: Baba Yaga. Some thought it was a tale created by frightened children of a primitive world, a story told in hushed voices to warn soldiers not to stray too far into the dark, a boogeyman for the cosmos. But the old ones, the scattered species who remembered Earth, knew better. Humanity's myths were never just stories. When the Empire's governors took Earth, they expected compliance. The humans had long been broken, scattered by endless wars, forgotten by most of the galaxy. There were only a handful of survivors, their home a pale blue world ripe for conquest. And so the Empire's overseers did what they always did. They demanded tribute, resources, and obedience. But when one governor, drunk on his own authority, ordered the desecration of ancient human relics, when he laughed as the soldiers burned down a small village shrine deep in the Siberian forest, he made a mistake that would echo across the stars. Because that shrine had not been a mere relic. It had been a warning sign, a place of containment, a place where an ancient pact kept something from awakening. The soldiers didn't know what they had done when they pulled down the carved wooden effigies, when they broke open the stone well that had been sealed for centuries. But the forest knew, the earth knew, and 2 days later, the Empire would cease to exist. The first sign was silence. Entire outposts along the frontier failed to report in. Entire planets stopped transmitting. At first, the High Command thought it was sabotage, maybe rebellion by slaves. They dispatched fleets, confident in their power. None returned. Reports trickled in from smugglers, terrified refugees, and mercenaries who had seen things no sane being could describe. Forests sprouting in seconds where none had been before. Cities swallowed by roots and shadows. Soldiers vanishing one by one in the dark until only screams remained. They spoke of a woman, pale as bone, draped in black, eyes burning like dying stars, moving through ships and settlements alike. She did not kill with weapons. She did not fight with armies. She simply appeared, and everything around her rotted, withered, and died. She walks on bones, one smuggler whispered before his comm line cut out. Her house walks on chicken legs, and the stars bent away from it. The Empire's rulers scoffed, but their fleets grew smaller. Their admirals, the ones who had fought wars across 100 systems, vanished into static. And on Earth, in that forgotten forest, the humans who remembered told the truth. Baba Yaga had been awakened. She was no goddess, no demon, something worse. She was the old terror of humanity, the shadow of their death world past given form. The Empire thought humans fragile, weak, primitives clinging to myths. They never understood that humans did not invent monsters for fear. They invented them because they had met them. And sometimes those monsters listened. The Empire sent its strongest weapons against her: orbital bombardments, planetary annihilators, weapons that could crack moons. None of it mattered. Entire fleets found themselves turned around in the void, their own cannons firing inward. Generals woke up screaming, their palaces filled with ash though no fire had touched them. Soldiers deserted in droves, whispering that they heard footsteps in the dark, that they saw a hut with legs following them no matter where they went. 2 days after the shrine had been desecrated, the galactic throne itself was silent. Its proud capital, seat of 1,000 years of domination, was gone. Where once stood towers of steel and glass stretching into the clouds, now there was only a barren plain, blackened and lifeless, as though the world itself had been scraped clean. The Empress of the Empire, who had thought herself eternal, left behind only a single word carved into her throne in a language long forgotten by most of the galaxy: Russian. It said, "Mine." Survivors spoke of what they saw in the last hours. They said the sky cracked open and a forest grew where none should exist. They said a hut with giant chicken legs strode through fire and void alike, and inside a woman laughed, her voice older than stars. They said she whispered to the Empress before she died, something that made even the most ruthless ruler and the galaxy screamed like a child. Then silence. The Galactic Empire was no more. The galaxy reeled broken, without its tyrant master. Dozens of enslaved species were suddenly free, but none dared celebrate loudly, because in the shadows of every system, in the whispers of every tavern, one truth was spoken with terror. Do not anger humanity, for their monsters are real. And worse, their monsters are loyal. Humanity had been scattered, broken, nearly erased, but in the wake of the Empire's fall, they emerged again, not with armies, not with fleets, but with stories. They told of Baba Yaga, of Kashia the Deathless, of nightmares that walked and devoured gods. And the galaxy, for the first time, believed. Some tried to test them. Pirates raided the ruined border of human space. None returned. Explorers who ventured into Earth's forest vanished. Scouts reported seeing eyes staring back on the void itself, glowing with hunger and mirth. The humans only smiled when asked. They had warned the Empire long ago. They had said, "We bury our monsters in the ground, in stories, in shrines. But if you dig too deep, if you mock too loudly, we do not control what rises." And so, the galaxy learned too late what the Empire had not. The might of fleets and armies was nothing against the old. Terrible powers humanity carried in their blood and their myths. Baba Yaga had been angry, and in 2 days, she had ended an empire. The galaxy would never forget. For the first time, it feared not human weapons nor human armies, but the terrible fact that on a death world called Earth, the line between story and reality was thin. Too thin. And behind that line, something always listened,